Hey YouTube, Z-Manzilla here, and I'm up late because I saw a video from DirectX 231 that he basically showed a new bug that he ran into with multiple POIs. And I'm going to go ahead and link in the description of this video his original video because it's sort of important to understanding the context. But basically what's going on is he has discovered a new bug involving multiple POI being generated. I watched his footage very closely and replayed it a couple times and tried to figure out if it was a problem with like order of process or something to that effect, and decided to run a few tests of my own. And let's just take a look at that footage.
Talking a little quiet here. I'm trying to, not wake up my family. But so earlier today, DirectX 231 showed a video. He was trying to do a tutorial about multiple POIs, and during the course of that tutorial, his game crashed. Now, I went and I studied the footage of the game crashing and started coming up with a couple of theories, and decided I wanted to kind of experiment with it myself and kind of figure out what the use case was. Now, I'm going to be capturing a repro of this bug, because I've kind of figured out the use case of it. What I'm going to tell you is the reason why I'm not showing you all of the testing I did beforehand is because testing this bug causes Doom to crash completely, which means you get kicked back to your starting menu there. And you have to restart Doom, and then you have to restart SNAPMAP mode, and then you have to go back into your map and reload that. So there's a significant chunk of time between tests, and so to add that extra step of me having to start up my Twitch stream every time as well, because it's pretty much the only way I have of sending footage to other places, that adds a lot of time to that, and I'm unable to sort of do that. But to add that extra step. In any case, I will tell you sort of what my findings were and what I did. So the first thing I did was, I was watching his video, and I noticed the technique that he was using, which was he was using one node to set off five POI things, five nodes that set the POI information, and then it also, all of the bad guys are getting POIs set upon them as they spawn. And what I was watching, what I saw him do was basically he was sending all five signals at once. And so I said, okay, well, let's see what happens under a different use case. Let's see what happens when, instead of having one signal sending all five of the POI instructions, why not try to stack them or tier them in some way, to make them come up separately, because maybe there's a bottleneck in the order of process. Maybe that's what's causing it, So I experimented with a setup that, it is basically the complete opposite use case of what his example was. Instead of me having one signal setting off all five POI nodes, I created five separate signals that each create one POI node. Or that each trigger one POI node. And my findings were that the same thing happened. Okay, so I would be able to send out signals, but here's the interesting thing, and this was something I picked up from watching his video as well. It does let you generate more than one. It's just there's a cap. I'll show you what I mean. So let's go ahead and take a look at the test I've set up here. Now, what I've done is I've had it, so basically each of these buttons sets off, only spawns one creature, which sets the POI settings. This one's, for POI 1, text 1, POI 2, POI 3, POI 4, and POI 5. They're all being set active upon the AI spawning. And of course, as each one spawns, it sets their own point of interest, and as you can see, for posterity, each of those is set to set the point of interest that corresponds with it. So there's no bottlenecking or anything, no issues with order of process. I have complete control over the order of process because I choose what order the buttons get pushed in, although it really doesn't matter. So I did a couple of tests. The first test, I did them in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What would happen is the first 4 would spawn, and then when I'd go to spawn the 5th one, just at, right as the AI was spawning in, it would lock up before putting up the POI. Then I did a second test. I reloaded everything and did a second test, and I actually started at this end, and I went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, and 2 spawned just fine. 1 crashed everything. So I tried some other alternate things, like using alternate methods to try to assign a single POI to multiple targets, which of course you can't do anyway, but had to test it, and that didn't work either. But consistently, whenever you have them all in, this is what happens. I'm going to go ahead and repro this, and this is going to crash, so things are going to get a little wonky and weird at the end of the video, but so far I've been able to repro this with a 100% success rate, regardless of the order I push the buttons in or anything. It's just, 4 is fine, 5 is right out. It's the holy hand grenade all over again. So, okay, well, let's show it to you. Alright, so number one, number 2, number 2. Okay, far so good. Number 3. Alright, 1, 2, 3. We got 3 of them. We got 3 little POIs. Alright. Number 4. Alright, we're looking good. We still got all 4. All 4 are looking just fine. Operating fine. Everything's good. Everything's awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of the team. The team of 1 through 4 here. Alright, now number 5, like I said, has the exact same code as these first 4. Identical code. They're even copied from the same cloth. The only thing that's changed is the indication of POI, which POI information they're using. So I'm just going to lead them out here a little more so that, I can actually hit the button. Now watch the spawn. And there's the lockup.
And we're back. So the takeaway on this, of course, is that you can use multiple POIs, but only 4, and then it causes a crash. Now, the other thing I wasn't able to test, and I don't think anybody is really able to test at this point, is whether or not this was a problem before update 6.66, and the reason why is because I personally haven't played any maps that utilized all 5 POIs at the same time. I've never seen it happen. The most I've seen is 4. I'm pretty sure Twofull's Domain Max is out at 4 on that one, but I've not seen any maps that do 5. I could be wrong. As a matter of fact, there's a possibility that there are maps out there that did use all 5 POIs before update 6.66, and really the thing we'd have to do here is go ahead and check them. And anybody that has any footage of them being played before update 6.66 that can show that the bug didn't exist before 6.66, we can use that to sort of prove that this is a 6.66 problem. Otherwise, it could be that this is just a problem that was there the whole time and none of us ever ran across it. It's sort of like how, the reason why a lot of people don't believe in the Praetor suit bug is because for a lot of people it's a very rare use case. Then there's idiots like me that die all the time, and it happens a lot more to me. So, it could just be one of those things that nobody's ever run into because nobody's ever had 5 POIs. I mean, again, all the maps I'm thinking of that have used multiple POIs, from Ceasefire to Twofull's Domain and everything, they all seem to max out at 4. I've not seen 5. But if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, and that helps us sort of build the case and figure out what happened and when. If you have footage of pre-6.66 maps using 5 POIs successfully, that'll definitely help out with kind of answering these questions. Anyway, this has been Z-Manzilla, and by the way, I want to say a big thank you to DirectX 231 for capturing that footage. That was awesome. And let's go ahead and boost the signal, and so that everybody knows that 5 is right out. So there you go. Thank you again for watching. If you haven't already, I hope you do choose to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.